anong gagawin mo if yung investment market goes down? Let's say, for example, nag-lose yung REITs mo, yung mga dividend stocks mo, yung mga investments mo. Ano yung gagawin mo? Should you sell it or should you add more? Another thing is, what if the market goes up? Anong gagawin mo? Should you buy more or are you going to sell, take profit dun sa investments mo? Well, in this video, I'm gonna share yung personal opinion ko when it comes to this scenario. So yeah, let's go. So lately kasi nag-down yung investment market. Most specifically na-affected yung US stock market and also yung cryptocurrency market. And luckily, hindi naman naging ganun kalaki yung effect niya in the Philippine Stock Exchange. But it made me ask myself like, like as a dividend investor, what do you do kapag nagda-down yung market? So let's say may investments ka in REITs, in mga dividend stocks, tapos nag-lose yung value. What do you do? And in this video, I'm gonna share yung thoughts ko when it comes to what you should do sa dividend portfolio mo. And then at the same time, kapag nag-down yung market, ano yung gagawin mo? Ano din ba yung gagawin mo if mag-increase or mag-increase yung value ng mga investment mo? Just like recently in mga REITs here in the Philippines, may mga REITs na nag-increase, diba? Like A-REIT, RCR. So nag-increase yung value nila. So question is, are you going to sell, take profit, or should you buy more? So again, in this video, I'm gonna share yung opinion ko. So yeah, let's go. So para sa akin, it still goes back to anong klaseng investor ka ba talaga? Like ano ba yung identity mo? Like are you a dividend investor, long-term investor, or a trader? Kasi from that, dun magdidictate ano yung actions na gagawin mo. So let's say for example, you're a trader. So yung gusto mo lang is mag-flip talaga ng stocks, then by all means, if nakita mo na down yung market, nag-down din yung investments mo at the same time, naging emotional ka. And yun nga, if you're a trader, then you, by all means, cut loss. Okay? Cut loss, tapos shift mo yung investments mo. But then again, if you're a dividend investor, again, yung identity kasi natin is that we want a stress-free kind of investing, di ba? Like, if yung down yung market, you continue adding and adding and adding and buying. Yung analogy kasi natin dito is ganito, like, in one of my videos, I mentioned na dividend investor is like you're earning rental income, di ba? So, it's like having your own real estate, tapos you're earning rental income. So, just imagine ganito, like, you have a own property, may property ka. Tapos, yung property na yun, nag-down yung value. Okay? Nag-down yung value ng property. However, kumikita ka pa rin sa rental income. So, the question is, ibebenta mo ba yung property mo kasi nag-down yung value niya? Diba? So, most likely, hindi, diba? Unless may emergency and gusto mo i-liquidate lahat ng assets mo. So, most likely, hindi. You still continue receiving yung dividends mo. Same thing sa mga dividend stocks natin, sa mga REITs natin. So, even if nag-down yung value niya, but if you're still receiving the same dividends, rental income, then, I'd say, it's a good way to continue investing. So, para sa akin, you just hold onto it and you invest more. However, you don't also invest like blindly lang din, di ba? That's why very important talaga na papasok dito yung a little bit of fundamental analysis kasi we wanna check if, yes, nag-down yung market, nag-down yung value niya. The question is, are they still giving out yung intended dividends? Let's say, for example, A-REIT, diba? So, sobrang ganda ng fundamentals niya na kahit down yung value, if mag-down yung value ng stocks niya, when you look at the fundamentals, they're still way profitable. And then, if you notice also yung dividends na always increasing, diba? So, that's a sign of a healthy company. It means na parang undervalued siya, meaning mura yung price niya, you can buy more of it. However, if you look at the other REITs, example like DDMPR, makita natin na pababa yung price niya, di ba? At the same time, yung dividends niya parang erratic, hindi consistent. I mean, like, consistent pa rin, quarterly basis, pero minsan nadidelay sila. And then at the same time, they're also affected by the POGO ban, di ba? So, with that pa lang, of course, you don't wanna invest blindly din. It's your option na to really exit if parang ganun yung scenario niya. So, again, in investing, yes, we want a stress-free kind of investing. We want to invest and invest. But at the same time, we don't just invest blindly. Dapat we also do our due diligence. Kasi again, at the end of the day, pera natin to. So another analogy naman when it comes to being a dividend investor. So ganito, like, again, if you're a dividend investor, it's like you're owning a rental property, di ba? So let's say, for example, may rental property ka, tapos mayroon kang tenant, tapos sinira niya yung property mo. So sinira niya yung CR, sinira niya yung ano tawag ito, yung door, or basta may sinira siya sa property mo. So, syempre, anong gagawin mo? Are you gonna ibenta mo ba kaagad yung property? Di ba? Hindi. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fix it, renovate it, ipapaayos mo siya. So, maglalabas ka talaga ng capital. So, yung analogy na yan is same thing din with being a dividend investor. So, may times na yung investment natin, it goes down in value. So, parang, just imagine, as a dividend investor, nasira yung property ko. So, I need to fix it. So, I need to add capital. So, parang ganun yung analogy ko when it comes to dividend investing. It's like owning a rental property, and if mag-down yung value niya, you add more. But again, dapat may fundamental analysis din so that you don't keep pouring money on a dead property or dead investment. So, yun, very important na alam mo rin kung paano. Now, same thing if the market goes up. So, if mag-i-increase yung value ng investments mo, you just keep on adding. Again, as a dividend investor. So, maraming mga nagsasabi na if you're happy with your profit, you can just basically take profit. And that's, again, okay. Again, if you're a trader, then that's okay. Pwede mo yung gawin. But if you want, again, stress-free kind of investing, you just continue adding mo kahit nag-increase yung value. Same thing, again, if meron kang real estate property, tapos dati nakabili ka ng property sa province, tapos dun sa province suddenly naging city siya, tapos suddenly yung property mo dun sa gilid may mall, tapos may mga banks, so nag-increase ng value yung property, di ba? So question, ibibenta mo ba siya? Then probably yes, pwede if you wanna take profit. But if ikaw din you're into rental, then pwede mo siyang tawag ito, like pagawan mo ng rental property and medyo malaki na yung value na ma-receive mo as a rental income. So, same thing with yung mga dividend stocks mo, di ba? If mag-increase yung value niya, then there's a high probability din na mag-increase yun din yung dividends na ma-receive mo. So, again, as a dividend investor, that's how I think. That's how I think when it comes to my dividend investing portfolio. Again, this is just my opinion and feel free to disagree. But yeah, I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section below. Like, how about you? Ano yung strategy mo when it comes to your dividend portfolio? If it goes up, anong gagawin mo? If yung market goes down, ano din yung gagawin mo? So let me know in the comments section down below. So yeah, I hope you find this video valuable and helpful. And if you did, make sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to this channel and you might be wondering, like, how do I get started with investing in mga REITs, mga real estate investment trusts? Paano ba ako magsimula in dividend investing? They actually have the perfect video for you. You can just check out this next video because I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna share dito step by step how you can earn rental income even without your own properties through mga REITs or mga real estate investment trusts. So go ahead, check out this next video and I'll see you there.